Do your opportunities move forward as fast as you want them to do? If not, you're like most B2B salespeople today who complain about deal momentum being a problem. Neil Rackham in Spin Selling talks about what successful salespeople propose as the next step to keep moving your deal forward. Welcome to the Bite Size Sales Podcast, where we believe that sales is the most important team in a B2B company, that complacency is the enemy, and taking bite-sized steps each day to get better at your craft is the best way to improve results. I am your host, Andrew Monahan, and I'm using my 26 years of experience in B2B sales to bring you small, actionable ideas every day to help you get better. Almost every sales team I work with says that deal momentum, or probably more accurately, lack of deal momentum, is one of their big challenges. They just don't move as fast as we want them to do. They slow down, they stall, they go sideways, they go dark. There's this constant malaise where we think there's good reason, there's compelling events coming up, but it doesn't always result in the right actions or the right way forward when we're working with our prospects. Sales cycles are definitely longer than we want, and this causes all sorts of problems internally. It causes problems for our forecasting, things like that. Now, there are many causes of this, and one of them that comes up a lot is what we actually ask for, or what we push for, or what we get as the next step in the sales cycle. So to take from Spin Selling, which was Neil Rackham's book, he talks about the difference between advances and continuations. So an advance he describes as where an event takes place either in the call or after it that moves the sale forward to a decision. And he compares that with continuations, which he describes as where the sale will continue, but where no specific action has been agreed upon by the customer to move it forward. So an example of an advance might be a customer's agreement to attend an offsite, a demonstration. There might be a clearance that you will get in front of a higher level of decision maker, things like that. Whereas a continuation might be, let's meet again to talk about this. Next time you're around here, let's talk. We really liked what you talked about. We need to just think about it some more. Things like that, more wishy-washy. And I think it's obvious that advances are what we want, whereas continuations are maybe what's slowing down our deals sometimes. So in the book, though, if I read from it, what Neil Rackham talks about is what do we know to ask for or shoot for in terms of moving the deal forward? So to read directly from the book, how do you know which commitment to propose? Put simply, there are two characteristics of the commitments proposed by successful salespeople. Number one, the commitment advances the sale. As a result of the commitment, the sale will move forward in some way. And the second one is the commitment proposed is the highest realistic commitment that the customer is able to give. Successful sellers never push the customer beyond achievable limits. And that's directly from the book. Now, I know that there's lots of you listening to this that know that this is something you hope to get tighter at, right? It's something you want to do. You want your deals to move faster. And there'll be someone listening to this who recognize that they don't always get the best advances, and maybe you rely or get pushed to continuations more than you would like. And so the challenge really here is how do you keep moving these deals forward by thinking about advancements, so specific next steps or actions being taken, but also think carefully about the highest realistic thing to ask for. And that's maybe where we need to give some thought to as we're going into these calls, into these meetings, is be very prescriptive about what we think is a realistic but definitely a stretch ask from the prospect. And too often we think about things and say, well, the goal of this call is to give a demo, or the goal of this call is to get their buy-in to something, right? And I wonder if that's sometimes not perhaps, in Neil Rackham's terminology, is not specifically advancing the sale. There's no real action going to take place on the part of the prospect, but also, is it really the highest realistic thing that we can ask for? And I think that's the challenge for today, is if you do suffer from deal momentum problems, what can you do to really think through before every call, every meeting? Firstly, what is the specific advancement that we're going to ask for, that the customer is going to take to move this forward? And then secondly, is it the highest realistic thing we can ask for? It's not too high of a reach, but it's not too easy. It doesn't really, in the mind of the prospect, signify some sort of advancement. If you can do those two things, you might get to the point where you're tackling the root cause of these deals that are not moving fast enough. If you want to get the book mentioned in this episode for free, simply go to bitesizesales.com/free book. If you sign up on that page for unstoppable.do, we'll send you your book on us. Unstoppable gives you habit-forming action notes on great sales books such as Spin Selling, Never Split the Difference, New Sales Simplified, The Challenger Sale, and many more. In there, you get the best ideas from these books, all organized in a straightforward and easy to implement way, and designed for you to take action and transform your results. All at the equivalent of 3 cups of coffee per month. Start now and get your free book by going to bitesizesales.com/free book. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with anyone you think would get value. Coworkers, teammates, your boss, your head of sales, even that guy you worked with 2 companies ago who could probably do with some help. In fact, just overshare it. This is one of the few times it's cool to do that. Your podcast app will have a share button. Please click it and share it wide and far.